it might otherwise not be known, come to be revered, whether it was Pompey or Viper or Plastic Bag, or the icons who led the way, Gabby and Griner, and as Gabby and Griner put it, Gabby, Griner, and Grad. And as simple as it seems, that expression of confidence, that embracing by Barbadians of their own, created a platform that allowed us to fight the Shiprider Agreement, that allowed us to take on the world with the OECD and the EU, as we are still doing, that allows us to know that we are friends of all and satellites of none. It is that same spirit that allows us today to walk away from the opportunity of money from the World Bank to be able to stand up and say that we believe that the people of Venezuela should have the right to settle their own differences and to conduct themselves in dialogue because that is their right. This, my friends, this spirit of Barbados has not been created or crafted by prime ministers or MPs or ministers. It has been created and crafted and nurtured by the people of this country, by the people who leave their child by granny, by the women who go for child money at the court, by the people who still dream that in the castle of my skin will be on our TV, by the people of this land who, not this government, not me, not John, not those members in cabinet, who determined that that man from Black Rock, St. Stephen's, Free Hill, called MacDonald Blenman, when he sang Mr. T. Lemago, Don't Hold Me, and almost caused me to get expelled. If it was not the last day of term, I would have been expelled from Queen's College. Because we took the words of that song and we went on stage, Sharon Tate, Astrid Smith, and myself. It was said that we were the daughters of 3 wayward politicians. And we went on stage and we grabbed the microphone from the then Dame Elsie Payne, headmistress, on the last day of term. And we came and we took off the tie. And we sang the song, QC Lemago, Don't Hold Me. We get out the door, ain't coming back no more. Such was the influence of Griner. And that was before he was to win 6 more Trinity Crops. So that when I say to you this afternoon that this is an emotional moment for me, it is because it is the statement of a nation that is comfortable in its skin, that is comfortable to call this highway the mighty Griner Highway, not the MacDonald Blenman Highway. We understand that there is still distance to go. But there are a few things that I want to share with you this afternoon. Because people believe that we make up things on the fly, on the go. But I want to send you back to the Covenant of Hope, launched in 2016. Because the vision has remained constant and the principles have always been there. And principles only mean something when it is inconvenient to stand by them. And in that Covenant of Hope, we made bold to say that the most important action for this nation is to establish a new national consciousness. Because that national consciousness will determine who we are. That national consciousness will determine what we do. That national consciousness will determine how we do it. That national consciousness, Eddie, will ensure that we appreciate that discipline is part of the equation. And that when you have discipline and you add to it the C's. And what are the C's? Confidence, creativity, compassion, curiosity, caring. When you add to it those things, that what we begin to forge is a person, a Bajan that can be the best that we can be. And once we become the best that we can be, believe you me, we can take on the world. So the forging of that new national consciousness is done through multiple mechanisms. It's done by that mother and that father in that household, reinforcing those C's and that D. Teaching your child that you can be confident and speak out without being rude. Teaching your child that curiosity is what leads you to the next pathway of being able to achieve something different, or leads you to the pathway of being creative. That mother or father that tells you that if you don't want somebody to treat you badly, as the children of St. Stephen's told me, the infants of St. Stephen's, when I communicated and spoke to them about the golden rule, and I said, do you understand what I'm saying? And they said to me, if you don't want nobody to treat you badly, don't treat them badly. Out of the mouths of 3- and 4-year-olds. These are the things that make the defining difference to the new national consciousness. That we learn to understand in this country that I can disagree with you without being disagreeable. That we learn in this country that in addition to being able to express my views and to stand up for my rights, that I have to listen and I have to be responsible and to carry out my responsibilities to self, to family, to community, and to country. Not just to adhere to my rights. A new national consciousness that fundamentally speaks about respect, but not the kind of respect that says that you must shoot or knock down somebody because they step on you. The respect that is born truly of an understanding of self and an understanding of other people and what it is to be compassionate and what it is to be tolerant and what it is truly to be respectful. These are the things that go in to whether we become productive or whether we become mendicant. To put it in simple language, whether we are going to add value to what we have been born into, or whether we are only going to take and take and take. These are the things that will define Barbados' greatness as a people and as a nation. And in a very real sense, Rainer, you and Gabby and Bag and all of you, Allison, TC, all of you, Pompey, all of you. I can't call everybody's name because John grew up with you all. I managed the band with John. And I thank God for the path that I walked that allowed me to be exposed to the arts, to understand that in our artists is first the conversation of what is possible, so that we may, as public officials, settle what may be probable. This is a nation that is still being forged. And sometimes we are harsh on ourselves and we look at other nations that have been around for centuries. Last weekend at this time, I stood in the Medina in Marrakesh. And the humbling experience of knowing that you stood where others stood 1,000 years ago, 800 years ago, causes you to appreciate that in us is given a limited opportunity to make that definable difference. And if we want to make that difference and we appreciate that we are only running a relay, this is our leg on the relay, then you appreciate that you cannot drop the baton. And men like you, Griner, have allowed us to be comfortable in our skin and to be the best that we can be without seeking to look in the mirror and see somebody else's image and to hear somebody else's voice. So this afternoon, my friends, we have come here to pay tribute to a great Barbadian man. And I want these children here to know that so long as you can be confident in yourself, so long as you cannot be frightened to create, to hear your own voice and to feel your own movements and to create from it, so long as you can continue to care about others, because you heard John, the minister, tell you that Griner's genius lies not only on stage, but in the man in who he is today and in his humility and in his caring for other people. So long as you can be disciplined, because he didn't get on stage and suddenly start to sing. Well, you heard Eddie say he had to do it over and over and over and over, because practice does what? Make perfect. So long as you are prepared to do these things, then one day this country too can pay tribute to you, because you would have become the best that you could be. So that we must not only dare to dream, but we must also be determined to do. And while it is important that I speak to you in these terms, I have also to remember that I'm rooted on the ground, and that there are modern day realities and kinks that we don't get right the first time, but we're going to work and work and work until we get it right. And I want to publicly apologize to those promoters who have had hell, because I don't believe that you should have to go through hell in this country to be able to do a simple thing as to help us celebrate this festival of ours. And today, I met with the Barbados Revenue Authority, and I've asked them to please remove the hurdles. In fact, we have agreed that the one-stop license shall be issued from the National Cultural Foundation as of next week for the balance of crop over. When we don't get it right the first time, do not be too proud to say sorry and get it right, because that is the path of life that makes us great as a people. Similarly, in reviewing the legislation, I recognize that it is a 34-year-old piece of legislation that needs reviewing. And I've asked the Attorney General to please lead the effort of allowing us to be able to review the public entertainment legislation, because I'm not sure what role the Controller of Customs really has in this process. And is the Controller of Customs the best person in 2019 to be able to determine whether a person should get a license for public entertainment or not? I think not. And therefore, this review must take place. But there are other things that we need to correct. And it is not because others have said it is wrong. I asked the Cabinet Secretary just over a week ago to produce and prepare the documentation, because the time has come for us to have, without prejudice to the national hero of Barbados, which is in a special place of its own, that our highest award right now under the Order of Barbados is the Knight of St. Andrew. We must claim our destiny, and we must now establish an equivalent award under the Freedom of Barbados, so that Barbadians who do not want to be known as Sir or Dame of St. Andrew can still have the highest national award in this country. And for those who opt, therefore, for that award, because there will still be some who want the Knight of St. Andrew, but there are many, many, many of us of independence generation who would not know how to accept that award. Those persons in claiming the freedom of Barbados would be hereinafter known as the most excellent. So, my friends, this is a journey. This is our leg of the relay. And Griner, I, like Eddie, believe that it is going to be very difficult for anybody to match you on the road in this leg of the relay. And like Pompey, not only in this leg of the relay, but with the genius and the elegance of 2 hat tricks on the road that is associated with Kensington Oval, nonetheless. And that it is only right, therefore, that those children who may not be scientists or who may not be doctors or lawyers, or who may not be politicians, must forever know that they can attain the highest heights in this country and receive the greatest acclaim of the people of this land by expressing to us that which comes from within, because in so doing, we have reaffirmed what nobody else can do for us, our sense of Bajanness, our sense of Barbadianness. I say, therefore, that we have not just come this evening, therefore, to praise famous men. We have come to lay claim to a new national consciousness that hopefully shall inspire those who come after, that we can be great in this world by simply being the best of who we are as Bajans. God bless you, mighty Griner, and thank God for your life.
Hi, this is Gabby. I just want.
From the age of 3, Leo MacDonald Blenman was performing and delighting his audience. On Saturday mornings, he would dance and sing for Miss Ellis, the Puddin' and South Cellar, and others as he accompanied his mother Elise on her errands. He commenced his primary education at the Westbury Primary School, transferring to St. Stephen's Primary when his family moved to Blackrock in 1955. He completed his secondary education at the St. Leonard's Boys' School. The creation of the now famous nickname of Griner actually came from a game of cricket. His team, in desperate need of runs, and skipper Joe Jackson on this day sends Mac in at number 5 and tells him to hold down the wicket, don't bat too fast, grind them, man, and let you try to win. And he did just that, thereby earning the nickname of Griner. After leaving school, MacDonald got a job at Block and Tile in Paynes Bay, where for some 21 years he plied his trade making cement blocks. But the music was in his head, and he had to write it down somewhere. And so, many a hit that we now know and love today was first penned on an empty cement bag. Hits like Bajan Yankee, Mr. T, and more Griner. He joined the Charlie Austin Band and then Springer and the Barons, making lifelong friendships with other local greats like Observer and Kinky Star. In 1968, at the age of 22, he entered the Barbados Independence Calypso Show, staged by the JCs at the local YMCA. He placed third to the Mighty Gabby and the late Mighty Romeo. In 1976, he won his first crown at a competition at Culloden Farm, the then official residence of the Prime Minister, with the song Crop Over Bacchanal, and taking home the princely sum of $100 as his prize money. The story goes that he was given a small envelope and off he went, excited to share his good fortune with his friends, straight to Baxter's Road, where he promptly proceeded to order drinks and eats for everyone. But a voice in his head told him to check the envelope, whereupon a peek inside revealed 3 $20 bills and a piece of paper with the letters IOU and the word 40. His fate would change in 1981 when he joined Calypso Enterprises, performing at Yoruba House with the likes of the late Sir Don, the Mighty Viper, the Mighty Romeo, and the Mighty Gabby. Calypso Enterprises changed its name to the Battleground Calypso Tent in 1982. The year was 1983. The year the stars aligned and international recording star and owner of Ice Records met Gabby and Griner. And together they changed the tone and tempo of Bajan Calypso. This magical partnership and enduring friendship transformed MacDonald Blenman into the musical maestro, the Mighty Griner, headlining Calypso shows and concerts all across the globe, particularly in locations with huge Caribbean populations eager for the sounds and rhythms of their homeland. And he did not disappoint. Here at home, this Spring Garden Highway was his, and his alone on Kadooment Day, as costumed revelers jumped and whined to his Calypso hits, belted out from the massive speakers on every music truck. Mr. T in 1983. Stinging Bees in 1985.
Billy is a bee.
And more Griner in 1986. And again, Wait For Me in 1988. Lego I Hand in 1989 and Get Out the Way in 1990. Two hat tricks, a record to this day, and topped off with yet another win on the road with Old Time Melody in 1998. He has a huge repertoire of Calypso hits including Bajan Yankees, Gabby Controversy, and the more recent hit, Turn On the Speaker. The Mighty Griner loves performing, and to this day still ignites stages both at home and abroad. And yes, he still competes. In fact, making it to the semi-finals of the Soca Monarch competition just 1 week ago. His music has thrilled millions, and he's won over 50 awards for his contribution to the Calypso art form. But he is just as often hailed as a man of great humility, generosity, and grace. This father and grandfather is truly an entertainer par excellence and a gentleman. The renaming of this highway, hereafter today known as the Mighty Griner Highway, is but a fitting tribute to a humble man with a huge talent, one who makes us dance and sing and move and celebrate life as only we can here in the Caribbean. MacDonald Blenman, the Mighty Griner, King of the Road.
What is left to be done? Well, certainly there must be an unveiling. And it must be revealed to all Barbadians and visitors to this country exactly who this highway is named after. And so at this time, the unveiling party will move towards the monument. And we will have the benefit of watching them step by step, movement by movement, to the monument. Of course, there's much to be known about the monument. In addition, there is the sign that you will see at either end of what was, after this day, the Spring Garden Highway, and in the middle as well. As you watch on the large screens, this moment forever recorded in history and being shared by many at home at this time. I can tell you that the Mighty Griner Monument, 8 feet by 6 feet, is a completed structure which features a large treble clef which protrudes from a bedrock of carefully cast concrete. The clef figure is made of copper, and recycled materials precisely placed along the sides of the monument are there to allow the free flow of daylight and the timely weathering of the selected raw materials. The national colors of Barbados, once removed, reveal the name of the Mighty Griner Highway. Sharing it with his good old buddy and pal, the mighty Gabby. Gabby, you may have taken away his song culture, but you cannot take his highway. BFF, best friends forever. And now he moves to that. Well, what can I say? A man that set the highway on fire so often should be traveling in a fire truck. From the sign, they will be making their way now towards the monument. And I'm sure that this is something that will attract the attention of many in the next coming weeks as we continue to celebrate the Crop Over Festival. You can brag and boast to your children and your grandchildren and to all the others who have not made it here today that you are part of history, made possible by this man who hails from Freehill, Black Rock in St. Michael, who has flown the banner of Barbados not just at home but in many countries across the globe. So to tell you of the monument, 8 feet by 6 feet, a completed structure that features a large treble clef, which protrudes from a bedrock of carefully cast concrete. The clef figure is made of copper, and recycled materials precisely placed along the sides of the monument are there to allow for the free flow of daylight and the timely weathering of the selected raw materials. The footstone of the monument is encased in a generous layer of handcrafted red marble. The upper tower of the structure is overlaid with burnt orange marble, and along the front of the monument stands a portrait of the mighty Griner. A cluster of revelers adorn the face of the inscription at the base of the portrait. The right side is an abstract hand painting done by the designer of the monument and overlaid with a clear glaze. This painting represents the kaleidoscope of color and Bajan revelry as locals and visitors alike take to the streets for the grand culmination of the Crop Over Festival of Kadooment Day. Designed by Kevin Small, the festival designer of the year 2018. Of course, for the unveiling, Griner is accompanied by the Prime Minister, Mayor Ahmad Motley, Minister John King, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Cultural Foundation, Mrs. Carol Roberts-Rifa, and also the designer of the monument, Mr. Kevin Small. Later this evening, after the formalities, you'll be treated to a number of performances. Among those that will be gracing the stage, Rasali, with his Spring Garden on Fire of 1986, being, of course, the signature tune. Natalie, a former winner in the Calypso circles as well. Adrian Clark, AC. Blood, Stiffy. Eric Lewis. Biggie Irie. Master of Ceremonies for that section, of course, the incomparable Mac Fingall. And there'll be contributions also by Ricardo Reed, featuring Dr. Ricky Brathwaite, as well as feature appearances by Aja and Doc Quinton. So there's a lot to be had this evening in terms of performances. And following that, the live performances, there's going to be a party, as the Admiral Nelson will be joining me on stage as we have more fun in all that's going to be happening. As they move now towards the monument, in the background you can see the still walkers adding to the spectacle of the occasion. And there it is. A moment long awaited. You can see as Carl Roberts Rifa pointing out to Greiner the intricacies of this monument, which stands 8 feet tall and is 6 feet wide. And of course, to the left of it, you can see the treble clef, that musical note, protruding from that bedrock. And it is indeed cast in concrete, which should ensure its security. One thing is certain, anytime that you come here to Brandon's Beach, you can attest to the fact that the sun blazes in this area. But the monument is designed intentionally to allow for the rays of the sun to beat on the monument and not to protect the monument, but to give some character to it over the many years that it'll be here. The copper clef is but a part of the recycled material, and you can expect that the sunlight will flow through this cleft, and the very raw materials that are making it will continue to be weathered, but to form all of the beauty, intricacies, and intrigue that this very man has treated us to over many a year, from his early entry into Calypso to this very day. And our memories will forever live on with the mighty Greiner, MacDonald Blenman. In a short while, the unveiling party will return to this site, which for a long time was known as Tim's on the Highway, where particularly during the judging nights of the Pick of the Crop competition, various tents would meet here to be judged. And then on the finalists would go to either the National Stadium or Kensington Oval for the finals of the Calypso competition. All the memories of Greiner performing on the stage, particularly at the National Stadium, they come flooding back on this day that we honor the man, a stalwart of the Calypso art form. meeting many of his subjects, as to be expected. And the lady who's to Griner's left, just walking by, is Merle Niles, who has been the one who has stood by Griner, walked with him, accompanies him to many performances. Always a pillar of strength to the mighty Griner. And indeed, is a woman of business as it relates to his contracts and guaranteeing that he's always on time and that he has time too for his adoring fans. So as we get ready for the return of the unveiling party, I will let you in on the inscription on the monument. It reads, "The government of Barbados renamed this highway the Mighty Griner Highway on this day, Saturday, June 29, 2019. This monument is erected in honor of MacDonald Blenman, the Mighty Griner, accomplished Calypsonian and entertainer par excellence. Unveiled by the Honorable Mia Amor Motley, QC MP, Prime Minister of Barbados, and the Honorable John King, MP, Minister of Creative Economy, Culture, and Sports. The Mighty Griner dominated the Tune of the Crop competition of the Crop Over Festival for decades, winning more Tune of the Crop titles than any other artist since the inception of the competition. In 1983, he won with Mr. T. In 1984, Stinging Bees. And in 1985, We Want More. That was the first of 2 hat tricks. What would follow? 1988, Wait for Me. 1989, Get Out the Way. And 1990, Lego I Hand. After a break, Griner would return. In 1998, he copped the title once again with Old Time Melody. He alone can excite and incite people of all ages and nationalities to get up and dance to his infectious melodies and happy lyrics. His trademark antics, broad smile, and husky vocals have endeared him to calypso and soca lovers across the world. A great Barbadian maestro and son of the soil, his contribution to the art form is indelible. The Mighty Griner, MacDonald Blenman, truly the king of the road. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings me to the end of the formalities of this evening's ceremony. I'm Wayne Cool Simmons, and I'm going to turn over now to a gentleman who was my teacher, my mentor, and certainly one who had a hand in directing the direction that I would go in. To take you from this stage and for the live performances, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Mac Fingal!
People! Well, I didn't even know that there's so many of y'all over here. Hey. But I gotta tell you something, what happened though, it sounded to me like we all are very decent this evening and subdued. What is the problem? This is crop over. And this is Saturday. A Saturday in the normal time of the year is the day for partying. That's the day we just relax and get rid of Friday and get ready for next week. I know when they crop over, it should be a bigger Saturday for partying. And I want you to know that this is the 29th of June, 2019. And it will never, ever have another one. When it's done, it's done forever. So you have a chance to enjoy yourself on June the 29th, 2019. And if you mess it up, you ain't get that chance no more. Because next year, 29th of June, is a different year, a different time. This one done. So all who ready to party, somebody say yeah. One more time, say yeah. Somebody say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I want to hear the pastor scream. The Reverend ain't moved yet. Bless you, my brother. I know before you're a reverend, you used to jam, you know. You're not born a reverend, you know. You've become a reverend. Your personality is formed before your profession. So he would have been, as a little boy, you would do a little thing, ain't it? I know. Them priests, the priests, I can't tell what the priests and them know. No, not this priest, another priest, a different priest. I don't even know he. I just trying to show you how his work out sometimes. Because they had a priest back in the day, priests before they had car, priests used to ride bicycle, you know. Y'all didn't know that, eh? Yeah, priests ride bicycle. And this young priest was being taught by the older priest, and he had to come to the session and hear the priest, and then the priest tell him, well, you preach today, and then we work it out and see what go on. So when he think done, and he done preach, and he look outside, he ain't find any bicycle. And he went and report to the priest. He said, look, Pastor, somebody carried my bicycle. They thief my bicycle. And the priest tell him, well, young man, this is how you handle that. Next Sunday when you come back to preach, you preach on the commandments. And you come down from commandment 1 all the way down to 10. And when you get to thou shalt not steal, that person will get up and confess. Yes, and the boy preach. And then he get back the bicycle, and the pastor see the bicycle, the senior pastor see it. He said, I see you get back the bicycle? He said, yes. He said, did you preach in the commandment? He said, yes. He said, did anybody confess? He said, well, Pastor, what happened when I get to thou shalt not commit adultery? I remember where I left it. The pastor enjoyed that one, Jack. Oh, Lord have mercy. Ready? Peoples. On stage, we got the band people called the Red Boys Band. I want to give Mr. Hosmer from the Red Boys along with his brother. Where's the brother? In the back there, Scott Dahl. Those are the Red Boys. As you can see, they are very red. Look at them, you see. Now, what we have for you right now, let me get the correct name of this part of the session. It is called the King of the Road Mini Tent with the Red Boys. That's what it's called, the King of the Road Mini Tent. So what's happening tonight is that you are getting a tent for Crop Over right here. So I want you to give the National Cultural Foundation a big hand for putting on a tent for you right now. Give it up. Mini tent, y'all. Woo! And to get the ball rolling, peoples, we bring to you a brother that sometime back, I remember he and Grainer performing all over. We saw them in all over New York, Madison Square Garden, all over Boston, all over the world. And in them days, I felt like the two of them were doing more for Barbados than the Board of Tourism at that time. We're talking to brother people that give you Make the Way, that give you Demos Answer, that give you Mr. Energy, that give you Encore. The brother that lit up Spring Garden, people that made a road march when he said Spring Garden on fire. Make some noise and welcome Rastafari. Give it up for Rast. Ow! Good God. Yeah. Ow! Good God.
Easy, easy. Everybody, come on. Get something and wave. Get something and wave. Get something and wave. Say, why, yo. Why, yo. Why, yo. Hold on. Come up front. Come up front. Hold on. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. Say, why, yo. Why, yo. Get something and wave. Get something and wave. Get something and wave. Get something and wave. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. Say, why, yo. Why, yo. Why, yo. Push your hand in the air. Push your hand in the air. If you love the mighty grinder, scream. Hold on. Hold on. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. Out of hand, we go get out of hand. We just warming them up. We just warming them up. Put your hand in the air. There we go. Bam, 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 body. If you know it, sing it. Let me go, spring garden on fire. Oh, we just ran to fire, but run from water. I heard that soca blazing down at the highway. So I had to go and help all them people down there. You don't want me to go, I'd stand there and ball. I ain't missing this thing at all, at all, at all, at all, at all. I stood at home and heard how you're burning. Spring garden are coming. All the traffic blocks, so I'll be running, running. Coming down with me, soca. Fire with fire, spring garden. Tell the world who coming. Do you like it? Put your hand in the air. Put your hand in the air. Put your hand in the air. Give me room. Now we go. Hold up. Hold up. Let me go, let me go, let me go. I can't wait no longer. Got to go and help them put out this fire. But you just can't use the water to out this fire. You got to jump and run till you get the fever. Things are getting so hot, but still I cannot retreat. I'm going down to spring garden with some tempo to help them to cool it. Spring garden are coming. I stood at home and heard how you're burning. Spring garden are coming. So I'll be running, running, running. Coming down with me, soca. To fight fire in fire. Spring garden. Tell the world who coming. Give me room. Yeah, man. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. The temperature rising. Stop for what you're doing and come if you're coming. Every bus is going down to the highway. Look, you have me in misery standing there. If you know you ain't coming, let me know right now. I am the fire chief, so I have to show them how. Spring garden are coming. I stood at home and heard how you're burning. So I'll be running. Coming down with me, soca. To fight fire with fire. Spring garden. Tell the world who coming. Hold on. Put your hand in the air for the mighty grinder. Put your hand in the air for the mighty grinder. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. On the fire, on the fire, we're doing 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 on the fire. If you're feeling hot, if you're feeling hot, put your hand in the air. Move your hand from left to right, move your hand from left to right. Barbados posse, spring garden posse. Now the mighty grinder highway. Show the man some respect. Put your hand in the air. Thank you very much. One love from Ross Island.
Give it up, Ross Island, y'all. Somebody say yeah. Say yeah. Oh my gosh. We gonna keep it rocking, peoples. All who in party tonight, something wrong with one, I tell you. Peoples. Griner made his move in 1982. He came second in 82 with a song called Rock With Me. Of course, you know, Gabby won with Jack in 82. So we're going to do that song for you called Rock With Me when he started to make his move. But you want to bring on stage two members of the band from Creative Song way back in the early 80s. Y'all know Aja as the man who is the man behind the scene with all the concerts and doing all the stage performances, setting up all the performances with all the big shows they have around Barbados. Some of you don't know that Aja is also a trombone player. He's here tonight playing trombone. Aja, give a welcome to Aja, trombone player. Everybody knows him as a poet and a singer, but he's a trombone player. And Doc Quinton was in the Creative Sound Band that used to be back in the Battleground tents in them days. That's Doc over there too, Doc Quinton. So we're going to feature these two in this song. And the sister coming to sing the song for you people, you must remember her because she was a road march queen also of Barbados at some point in time. When she had the song Colors with Chantel. People's been talking about a lady that gave you weakness for sweetness. That gave you from sun to sun, and this is what we do. And this year she jamming the tents already with a song called We Give Her Some Space. Make some noise and welcome the sister. Give it up for Natalie. Hey, jam me, baby. Good God.
Roll
Come on, y'all can do better than that. Give it up one more time for Natalie. Good God Almighty. I noticed that 85 people still ain't dancing yet. I want you to know that we filming y'all and we can tell you all, we show you, we want to show you next Saturday night. Your grandchildren go on and you know what you need to get up and dance. Get up and come and dance. I want everybody up beside here dancing. Peoples. Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. The Mighty Grinder Peoples took the title the next year, 1983, with a song, people, which is one of the best written calypsos of gospel songs of all time. A song simply called Mr. T. Anybody remember Mr. T? A vicious song, people, penned by the master, the Mighty Gabby. Peoples, to perform for you right now, and we want to bring on stage Dr. Ricky Braffett to join the brass section. Where's Dr. Braffett? He coming later. Dr. Ricky Braffett will be featured in this song. Who is going to do the song, people? A little man, only 18 years old, people. When this song was done first. This man was yet not even born. But he's a good performer. He's a comedian. He's an MC. He's at the community college studying people. And he's a great calypsonian himself. People, I want to welcome on stage. Give this young man a hand and give him some support doing the song. Mr. T, make some noise and welcome Ricardo Reed. Ow! Good God. Jam me, baby. Ow! Huh.
Good evening, Barbados. Bloody hard. Take me hard. I was so dumb when you come with rum and steal my ex from me. You come with big tricks, corned beef and biscuits, and rob my democracy. What? Look, I learned my lesson well. You can't trick me again. For no more ice cream, can't swell up my brain. Mr. T, I sing it loud and clean. And I'm singing T. Let me go, don't hold me. Let me go, unfold me. Let me go, don't blindfold me. Let me go, T. Let me go, don't hold me. Let me go, I aiming now to be free. Boy, I gon' break your pants. I gon' make you dance. You gon' feel that I is the nest of ants. I gon' make you go. I gon' sink your boat and neck. I gonna beat you with my head. Alright. Again. Woo. Take me home. Your tricks and guile and pleasant smile can't win my ex again. You came like a lamb, collective and calm, to inflict hurt and pain. You play your ace, you gamble wrong, but I roll in three like that. And in this poker, you is the joker. No more aces in the pack. And I'm singing T. Let me go, don't hold me. Let me go, unfold me. Let me go, don't blindfold me. Let me go, T. Let me go, don't hold me. Let me go, I aiming now to be free. Grinder, I gon' rip your pants. I gon' make you dance. You gon' feel that I is a nest of ants. I gon' make you go. I gon' sink your boat and neck. I'm gonna beat you with my axe. Alright. Woo! Take me on. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Dr. Ricky Braffett, the original trumpet player for this track. go. See, let me go. Don't hold me, let me go. I aiming now to be free. Why? I gonna rip your band. I gonna make you dance. You gonna feel that I is a lesser ant. I gonna milk your goat. I gonna sink your boat and next I'm gonna beat you with my legs. Alright. Let me go. Don't hold me. Let me go. Hold me. Let me go. Don't blindfold me. Let me go. See. Let me go. Don't hold me. Let me go. I aiming now to be free. Thank you.
Lord have mercy. Listen, I know one can do better than that for them two brothers right there. Make some noise up inside here. And a special hand for Dr. Braffett. Give it up for Dr. Braffett, y'all. Lord have mercy. They don't play it better in the world, across the world. They can't play it better. We got to learn to big up ourselves. You hear? Peoples, we're going to continue. You know, he won the Road March in 83. He also won in 84, and he also won in 85. The hat trick. In 1985, he gave us more grinder. That's right, that's what he gave us. So we're going to do that one for you right now. How we bringing people? The man, one of the sweetest voices in Calypso, people. Sweet voice singing, man. Oh, my gosh. The man that gave you a nice time some years ago had it rocking. The man that gave you Soca You, peoples. And this year, he got something to say, I like it. Peoples, welcome to the stage. The man, former singer with the band, the Troubadours. Oh, my gosh. Make some noise and welcome AC. Give it up for Adrian Clark. Oh, good God. Woo! Yeah.
Yes, man. All the crowd of fans, let me see you put your hands in the air. Come on. Hey, I tell my friends, my fans, and my family that I can be a tycoon to everybody. Some of them laugh and say, look, don't mind me. I just come good every year, but I'm bad lucky. But this year is ugly, man. Plan your back up the whole land. I ain't coming to make no strife. I'm mashing up the place 1985. So every time the MC come and them, I can hear them shouting this be free. Oh, you say self-praising on praise, but I'm hearing your voices in the air. Every time I come with a melody, I gotta hear your body repeatedly. If I sing fast, I sing slow, I can hear you shouting this encore. I don't hear that. We want more grinder, we want more. All right. We want more grinder, we want more. All right. It's me. All right. Good luck. Good luck. In myself, I got all confidence that I put a spell on the audience. I got the class, them both, them can't surpass. But I sing it every year that they go converse. When you see me on the stage, you just got me in a rage. And before I could sing my song, all you just got the whole place lit down. As every time the MC come and them, I can hear them shouting this be free. Now you see yourself praising and praise, but I hearing your voices in the air. Look, I mash up the place in TNT, got the whole island is going crazy. Every time you wanna sing a song, I can hear you balling out 20,000 strong. put your hands up for the mighty grinder. Come on. Hey, 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 hey. All right. I get the strength, the strength, and the willpower. Give me time, get on the stage, back to us. I got the class, them those, them can't surpass. Cause they come good every year, but they go for that. When you see me on the stage, you just got them in a rage. And before I could sing me song, all you just got the whole place wrecked up. Alright! Cause every time the MC call my name, I can hear you shouting this refrain. I just say self-praising and praise, but not hearing your voices in the ears. I hear them begging Gabby to sue me when I take a thief and in the DLP. If he did sue me, I will sue him and be another Gabby got you overseas. Oh, you hear them? That's AC, Agent Clark. One more time for the brother. One more time for the brother. How the posse feeling? Are you tired? Do you have energy to jam for about another 20 minutes, y'all? Oh my God, don't forget we got the tent tonight also, the big show at the Dome at 8 o'clock. I want to ask a question. I want to show me, all those who love Calypso, put a hand in here like this with me. If you love Crop Over, put the other hand in here like that, look. And if you love the Mighty Grinder, do it like that for me, look. Now we showing this on television, and I want you to look back Saturday and say, "That's my hand." Put it up, come on. Put it up, put it up. Give me a drum beat there. Give me a drum beat there. Give me a drum beat there. Come on. Put it up. Give me a drum beat. Give me a drum beat. Give me a drum beat. Put it up. Put it up. Put it up. When this show next week, I want to see it on TV looking good. All the hands in the air, all. And I want you to say, "Look, Daddy, look, that's my hand. Look, that's my hand. Look, Mommy, that's my hand." Grinder. 83, 84, 85. 86 was the red plastic bag. Sorry, 86 was Spring Garden on Fire Rossetti. 87 was red plastic bag. Down for me, brother. But Grinder came back and won 88, 89, and 90. And in 89, he had the favorite song, my song. Let go of your hand, people. To do that song for you right now, I want to bring on stage two kings, people. The current Calypso King of Barbados and the former Bashment King of Barbados. Make some noise and welcome on stage, Mr. Blood and Stiffy.
I was dreaming
What wake me from sleeping? When the noise of the beast must set in the place.
Give me the height, give me the height.
From the time, from the night, music tight. They want to be champion for the celebration. With all the beaters and a Rasta chant. Hey, put your hand in the air, say it.
So let me go.
Music,
Hey, and the whole vicinity vibrating.
a Rasta man, beating in the band. And beating sweet percussion. How will you say? Lego I hand, I Rasta I hand. Jah Rastafari leading thy band. Lego I hand, I Rasta I hand. Jah Rastafari, Paro, Jamo, creator of rhythm and tempo, master of this sweet and let's go leading thy band. Hey, Lego I hand.
Well, there you go. Steffi's on stage with blood, rocking it for the Grinder. We're going to take a pause for course here from the mighty Grinder Highway for the Lotto. We'll come right back where the action is.
With plenty rhythm, got the whole place hot like a pepper pot. Them in control, with the young and old, doing the beat dance with a Rasta chant. Everybody that know this song right now, put your two hands in the air. Say,
So let me go.
music,
Play, and the whole vicinity vibrating.
a Rasta man beating in the band and beating sweet percussion. Sing, Lego I hand, I Rasta I hand, Jah Rastafari.
Leading thy band.
Lego I hand, I Rasta I hand, Jah Rastafari, Paro, Jamo, creator of rhythm and tempo, master of the sweet calypso.
Sing again.
Jah Rastafari, Paro, Jamo, creator of rhythm and tempo, master of the sweet calypso. Again. Jah Rastafari, Paro, Jamo, creator of rhythm and tempo, master of the sweet calypso. Jah Rastafari, Paro, Jamo, creator of rhythm and tempo, master of the sweet calypso. Leading like Thank you.
Love you, Grinder.
Have mercy. I noticed that Minister King was dancing from the beginning and he's still dancing. I see also my brother Billy is dancing and sweating. That is good. I see the mighty Gabby dancing and Grinder dancing. Grinder, you able? Grinder, you can dance 3 more songs, Grinder? Are you going to say no? Lord have mercy. I noticed that the Prime Minister give up and go on and sit down. Everybody can't hang here, you know. Hey, yo, peoples. In 1991, peoples, after the second hat trick, a song was played in tribute to him, and it was done by Mad. The SP is all a tribute to Grinder, and that too became Road March for 1991. To do the song for you tonight, people, is to bring to you the lyrical genius from the band, or from the group Mad. Make some noise and welcome on stage, Mr. Eric Lewis. Ow, God.
Live coverage of the remaining of the highway to the mighty Grinder Highway continues here at the highway itself. Let's go stateside for none other than Eric Lewis, a special tribute to Grinder. Well, you can see the crowd having fun here on the highway. Let me tell you that this party continues off air until 10 o'clock tonight here at the mighty Grinder Highway. This has been our presentation. Thanks to Mervyn Lynch and the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation for bringing the renaming of the Spring Garden Highway to the mighty Grinder Highway Live. I'm the Admiral. Whatever you do, have a great night. And if you've got some time, come on down to the mighty Grinder Highway where the action continues live.
Mr. Eric Lewis, one more time for the brother. Give it up. Lord have mercy. Now I can see somebody looking tired. I see Billy Griffith waving his flag and the people looking tired. All who got energy for just 2 more songs, say yeah. All who got energy for 2 more songs, say yeah. Oh, I think we're ready. But you know, if we got song, we got calypso, but if we don't tell you what's going on with the lighting in the song, without them we can't have anything. So I want you to give a big hand for IGM for doing the lighting, QSI for doing the song, and the National Culture Foundation for the stage. Come on, give those 3 entities a big hand for me. And the band on stage, if jamming hard, I want to just get your names for you. On trumpet we have
Sean Lane.
Sean Lane on trumpet.
Kevin Lynch.
Kevin Lynch from the Police Band on trumpet.
Romario Graves.
Romario Graves on tenor sax.
Jomo Slasher.
Jomo Sasha on trombone.
Ian Allen.
Ian Hogger Allen, and he's singing the tent as Kong Young. Kong Young. And this is Mikey Hosmer.
Mikey Holzmeyer, yeah.
The Red Dog. Your name, sir?
Kirk Lane.
Kirk Lane on bass guitar. Give him a hand, give him a hand. And over here, people, is a musical genius. Everybody knows him. Your name is what?
John Ruitt.
John Ruitt. Give him a special hand, a genius on him. And over here is a man doing the machine this evening.
Scott Gold.
Scott Gold, the other half of the Red Boys. And your name, ma'am? Indra.
Kareem.
Rochelle.
Give him a hand, background vocals jamming sweetly. Sweetly! Peoples. After that 1991 jam for a little way back boy, and Grinder didn't win the road march, but he was still doing songs. But you see, the music kind of changed a little bit, so he had to adjust, and he did adjust. And in 2016, he came out loud and he shouted, you know what he shouted? Turn up your speaker! Turn it up! Peoples, to do that song for you right now, peoples, I want to bring to you the big bad man, the man with the big voice, the big man himself, make some noise! Biggie Irie!
Take me down the road!
The old dog went the road again!
Take me down the road!
The old dog went the road again!
Take me down the road! Ah! Turn on the speaker, put the volume to on.
Tell them play a soca song.
Remind you when I was small.
I'm playing a guitar.
With memory to perform.
I go play a soca song.
Remind me when you was small. Tell Mr. DJ, I turn up the festival.
I come in a big band
To jam at the festival. I done got them waving and moving. And they go jump up. Raise your hand and lose yourself like a breakaway.
jump up.
And make a back and the whole day. And line up, wind up, till time up. And we can do it all again. Just turn on the speaker, put the volume down on.
Let me play a soca song.
Remind you when you were small.
I play some guitar.
With melody to perform.
I go play a soca song.
Remind me when I was small.
Bring back the old timers. Bring me back quick. I want to jump and prance
Out on the street, if you play that powder, don't go there.
Love section is my band.
Don't think you can jam down there. Hey, hey. And then Mr. DJ, I come on the bacchanal.
I come in a big band.
Turn up the festival. And I got them waving and moving. And they gon' jump up. Raise your hand and lose yourself and you break away. Jump up. And the man you go there. And line up. Wind up. Till the time up. And we can do it all again. Just turn on the speaker. Put the volume to all. Tell them play a soca song. Remind you when you were small. A bass and a guitar with melody to perform. I can play a soca song. Remind me when I was small. Take me down the road. I come with a big life. Take me down the road. I come with a big life. Take me down the road. I come with a big life. Take me down the road. Bring back the old timers. Bring it back with. I want to jump and dance out on the street. If you're afraid I'm from that, don't go there. That section is my band. Don't think we can jump down there. Hey, just turn on the speaker. Put the volume to all. Tell them play a soca song. Remind you when you were small. A bass and a guitar with memory to perform. I don't play a soca song. Remind you when you were small. Tell Mr. DJ, I come from the bacchanal. I come in a big band. Turn up the festival. I can have them waving and moving. And we don't jump up. Raise your hand and lose yourself and you break away. Jump up and make a bacchanal the whole day. And line up, wind up, till time up. And we can do it all again. Just turn on the speaker. Put the volume to all. Let me play a soca song. Remind you when you were small. A bass and a guitar with melody to perform. I can play a soca song. Remind you when you were small. Take me down the road. I come with a big band. Take me down the road. I come with a big band. Take me down the road. I come with a big band. Take me down the road. I come with a big band. Take me down the road. Greater, I love you.
If you appreciate music and instrumentation and orchestration, you will give this band another hand for the job they're doing here with that. A fantastic job. We got some of the best in the world. You hear what he said? The world. Now, is anybody still here with energy? All those who got energy for one more song. Oh, yeah. I see Gabby round the gas. Minister King round the gas. Grainer round the gas. I had the money that can last. Peoples, in 1988 he gave you what we want. No, wait for me. 98 was wait for me. That's what he said. That's when he took the crown. We brought you through chronologically. We're going to take you back to 1988. Peoples, they want to do the song for your call. The Grainer song say, wait for me, Grainer. Peoples, welcome to the stage, peoples. A brother, peoples, a bad brother, been singing for also about 50 years. Peoples, the man won the Road March King of Barbados over about 7 times. 2 hat tricks. Give it up for the mighty, woo, Grainer.
Can somebody say yeah? Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. He truly deserves it. He's the most humble person, people. One of the loveliest people you can want to meet. I want to really congratulate the government and everybody that had anything to do with this here, with, Minister King, Ms. Roberts, and CF, the whole government for doing this here. Give them all a big hand for making Grainer, recognizing him, especially now he's alive. We want you to know that this party is going to continue. We just finished the live section here, but this party is going to continue with DJ music up until 10 o'clock. Also, I got to remind you that the Calypso tent is on tonight. The big show is at the Sea Ross Dome starting at 8 o'clock. So we got to hurry and get up there. We want to thank the Barbados Police Force for doing a great job this evening, Royal Barbados Police Force, for keeping it secure, and also the band, also the Suave Band.